What's up guys, we're here today at Mercedes Benz World and I'm super excited because I'm about to take the 45S out on the track. Let's get in. Today we're going to be doing the AMG Owners Program. This is a 1.5 hour session where a professional instructor takes you out in your own car model and shows you exactly what your car is capable of and how to properly drive it. Before jumping into the car, I met with my driving instructor James and we had a good chat, and he asked me if there was anything in particular that I wanted to focus on. I asked if we could do a bit of everything because I really wanted to show you guys what this car is capable of. First we took the car onto the basic warm-up track for a slow drive around the circuit, just to make sure I was happy and comfortable in my seating position, and of course to get the car all warmed up ready for the tests. James was great and we had a nice chat about the car and some of its best features. Then, once we were ready, we headed off onto the first test. First up was the brake test. Wait till you guys see how incredible the brakes are in this car. Now we're going to see how fast the car stops at high speed in every drive mode. Then, as an extra treat, when we do race mode, we're going to use launch control. First up is comfort mode. That is impressive. Excellent. We actually got within the cones.
Yeah. Later, but again.
Well, we were a bit quicker probably.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Again, that is just so much fun to do. Nice, we're almost in there.
Yeah, almost in there. And you can obviously see exhaust valves open as well. You'll find you won't seem to feel it too much on just this straight, but when we get onto the circuit, you can really feel the throttle sensitivity goes up massive.
So before we do the race start, I just want to show you how easy it is to engage. So all you do is pop the car into race mode, put your left foot 100% on the brake, and then you put your right foot 100% on the throttle quickly, and that's it. The car starts shaking, you let go of the brake, and you're off like a rocket. Now let's watch my genuine reaction of my first ever launch control in this car. Oh yeah.
Off the brake.
Oh my god.
So you can see that's where you get your sense.
That is insane.
It's pretty quick.
Can we do it again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my. Wow.
Yeah, well that's the thing, being four-wheel drive and the launch, a nice hot day today, you get no.
I have to do that with Becky on a really safe road, of course.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm kicking myself that I've not done that yet, but it's purely on the basis that I just haven't found the correct road to do it on.
Yeah.
And I kind of almost wanted to do it here first.
Just so you, exactly, nice.
Just so I sort of knew what to expect,
Yeah.
because this is such a safe environment. So do it here first. Now I know exactly how it works. I can take up the track.
Yeah, like, that's what I always tell people. Great.
Oh my god, I just love this car now even more, and I think after this driving day experience, what you want to call it, I think I'm going to love this car even more because.
Ready?
Yep.
And can you feel how aggressive the gearbox is?
It is.
It's just bang,
insanely aggressive.
Through. Yeah, it is.
Oh, we managed to get in the cones though, but yeah, oh, that is just
something else. You have to experience that. I'll be really interested to see how that looks on the video.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can see we're both being pushed back.
I have to do that with my wife.
Yeah.
She will scream.
Absolutely.
She's totally up for it. Like.
No, it's great. As I said, you're right. I mean, it's just trying to find somewhere to do it in an appropriate area, because you know what the UK roads are like now.
Oh, yeah. Next up was a really impressive test of the car's ESP and ABS systems on a simulated patch of ice.
For the first test, we're going to drive up to 30 miles per hour. Then when we reach the wet ice, we're going to brake and steer right, and then suddenly steer left. Let's see how the car's ESP and ABS systems handle this.
So I'm just going to keep an eye on that speed. Brake, hard right, hard left. Lovely. So, again, what did you notice?
Yeah, I mean, it really took control and kept me stable. Like.
It did, and you got a little bit of that understeer, but we still avoided the person, the rear stayed nice and stable, we're facing the right way, and we can carry on.
I mean, it might have been because I was more aggressive with the turn than before, but the C43 definitely had less understeer.
Yeah.
But it might have been, you know, it all depends on how it, but also, yeah, I mean, but I felt very in control. I mean, that is very impressive.
Absolutely, and that's the most important thing that we always show here of all these systems, and why these systems are on the cars as well.
James also wanted to show me how much difference there was between an extra 5 miles per hour when you brake on the ice. So first we did an emergency stop at 30 miles per hour, then we did the exact same at an extra 5 miles per hour, so 35 miles per hour.
So there you go. Brake. Great stuff. Brake.
I actually held the wheel this time.
That's fine, I don't mind.
We have gone so much further.
I would say that's about 6 car lengths.
That makes a huge difference, just that 5 miles per hour.
5 on that. And I always show this to people because that's the difference between you stopping for a T-junction or ploughing into the middle one, or if you're on the motorway, someone's hit the brakes. So I always say to people, just bring the speed back just ever so slightly when it's conditions like this, because this is a car with all the toys on.
For the last test, we took the car under a common driving scenario on the ice, and we saw how it reacted under the 3 different stages of traction control.
The car has 3 traction control modes. The first one is full traction control, where all systems are primed and ready. The second is a sport mode, where the system is a little more playful and it won't intervene as much. Then you have off, where all systems are fully disabled.
Now let's see the difference between each mode on the ice.
So we're going to do this 3 times. The scenario is basically you're pulling out onto a slip road, it's a very cold January day, and you look behind you and you can see there's a car roughly around where they are over there, and you think, yes, okay, I can pull out and create a bit of a gap. However, they're driving a bit faster than you first anticipated. Your reaction would be to put some power on. Now it doesn't need to be 100% power, but a good squeeze of power, as if this is your own car and you're trying to get yourself out of a situation.
You've suddenly seen them all. Yeah.
Exactly. So what we'll do is, to make it a little more entertaining, we'll put it in Sport Plus anyway, but for the first one we're going to keep everything on, all the safety systems on the lot. And what I want you to do is we're going to pull out nice and slowly, then when I say power, good squeeze of power and see how the car reacts. Yeah, good, and then squeeze of power. Perfect. There we go. So,
yeah, that was pretty stable.
Yeah, I was going to say, scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the scariest, 1 being the least, where would you put that?
1, it wasn't scary at all. Like, I felt complete control, didn't really feel the back come out a bit. I obviously felt like there was a little bit, you know, I wasn't...
A little bit of slip, but more on the front, wasn't there? It felt like understeer, if anything else.
Yeah, didn't, you know, I didn't feel in danger at all.
No. Rear didn't move around whatsoever.
Super stable.
Let's pull out again, squeeze the power when I say, and see how the car reacts.
Yep. Okay.
Good. Yeah, we'll go for it, squeeze the power.
Oh yeah, you can definitely feel a bit more there.
Absolutely, you can feel the front wheels really, can't you? Just doing, again, pulling out as much as possible. Did you notice that how much more wheel spin there was?
Yeah, you could feel it juddering.
Absolutely, than there was from...
Huge difference, but still felt
pretty stable.
In control, to be fair. Like, I didn't feel, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say probably a 2, you know, like just a little bit of juddering sound, but you know, I still felt like I really had good control on the car.
Excellent. So everything's off.
We're going to do exactly the same.
When you're ready.
This will be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very excited actually.
Good. So, nice slow pull out. Good. Steer to the left and squeeze it back. feel it there. Even then, it was about to snap and over-rotate.
Yeah, and then it helps, but yeah.
Exactly. It gives you the power when you want it. That's the big thing.
I was so impressed on how well the traction control systems in this car reacted on the ice. It honestly made me feel like I'd done a skillful driving manoeuvre, but to be honest guys, I didn't actually do anything. It was all the car. Yeah, there was a little bit of understeer, but we were driving on ice and we were hard braking at over 30 miles per hour. I mean, the systems on this car are so good and so safe. Now it was time to take the car on the drift circuit. James explained that drifting a four-wheel drive car is very different to drifting a rear-wheel drive car. Now, I was really excited to test out the drift mode here, but apparently it doesn't work very well on this surface, which was a bit disappointing. However, this car does drift well. James took the wheel and jumped in the car and showed me exactly how you drift a four-wheel drive car.
Full power, hard right, rear car spools up, and look, watch this for an angle. Now look, just a little bit of throttle, I'm steering to the left.
Wow.
And because I'm now off the power, I'm just balancing it on the throttle, and then the car brings us back to where we want. And that's the lovely thing with four-wheel drive. Wherever you point the wheel with a bit of throttle, that's where the car's going to go. It's very different to rear-wheel drive, where you turn left to go right.
Yeah, see that in my head, that's what I'm trying to do.
And that's what everyone does, and it said four-wheel drive it's the complete opposite to what your brain's telling you. Your brain's saying, no, don't get on the accelerator, come off the throttle, and then steer into it. But if I show you, if I come off the power, look how little control I have. So it's full power, hard right. So I'm now off the power. Look, I'm steering left. Doesn't matter what I do. The car's spun.
After James's brilliant demo, I really started to get the hang of it, and it was so much fun. I mean, it's strange because it's the complete opposite to how you would drift a rear-wheel drive car, but still, as you can see, this car really drifts.
Right. Good. There we go. There we go. A little bit of power now. Feather it. Turn to the left. Turn left. Power. Turn left. There we go.
Almost got it. That was
a good way to finish that.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
I think if I spent a bit more time, I can really get the hang of that.
Of course.
It is really fun.
Lastly was my absolute favourite part of the day, taking this car around the handling circuit.
Power, good. So not too hard, so just hit the brakes. Yeah, absolutely. Now with trail braking, it's a little bit, it's a very advanced way of driving, but when you hit the brakes in the car, where does all the weight go?
You're going to go to the front.
Absolutely. So when you've got weight on the front, you've got more grip on the front. So you hold the brake pressure as you come into the corner, which gives you a better turn in. Then you start to bleed off the brake, and then you get back on the power on the exit. Good. Off the brake. Nice turn in.
Yeah. This car handles so much better than the C43.
It's like a giant go-kart, isn't it? Yeah, the C43 is a lot softer, isn't it, in comparison?
It handles incredibly, this car. Like, I really feel like I can just... It's tight, it's almost as tight as a go-kart when you...
It is.
Like, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
It really grips around. I mean, I should probably mix her in sooner there, shouldn't I?
And the other thing I find with this, if you do ever drive these with the systems off, is the rear actually moves around a lot on under power for a hatch, which is nice. Whereas things like RS3s are still fantastic cars. I always tend to find with the quattro system they tend to be a little bit too understeering. Whereas it's got a nice front point front end, and when you get on the power, the rear does tend to move around.
It honestly feels like a rocket with a pointer, and wherever I point the nose, it's going.
That's where it goes.
Like, it's so direct. Like, you could never do this in a Fiesta.
Oh no.
Like,
the biggest thing
is
they are tight. And as I said, because it's a short wheelbase, you can really throw them around.
You really can.
Good. Nice turn in. Good. Lovely. Again, roll it through, looking around the corner. There we go. Wherever you're looking. Good. Nice turn in. Let's work back over to the left-hand side. The orange back through. Turn it in. Again, just building that speed up gradually. Did you even feel it there when you were getting on the power? The rear was just
a little bit, yeah.
trying to dance around a little bit. Smooth, good.
Even there, you can feel a little bit.
Yeah. Through, lovely, and again, just start to hold into the brakes. Nice turn into the inside.
See, that feels so tight as a driver.
It does, and that's what I love with the S, is having the bucket seats makes such a difference.
Honestly, I love these seats.
So I find 35, great car, same kind of chassis, but because in the UK you can't get the buckets for them as standard, you just get thrown around everywhere.
And you know, it's funny because I had actually forgotten how good these seats were, and eventually, yeah, that's why I'm so well in place. I absolutely love these seats.
They're good, aren't they?
Now, you guys may have noticed I'm not the quickest on the track. I haven't really done a huge amount of track driving, but honestly, after spending some time with this car on the track, I am hooked and I would love to do more and learn to become faster. Now, I had to see what this car was capable of around the track, so I gave James the wheel and he took me for some proper laps.
This is the drift mode, isn't it?
It tends to find just have some of the corners. It's more the slur stuff you tend to find it. So we're just through here.
Oh, yeah, you can feel.
So I mean, it's not too aggressive. It's not like an Ford RS, you know, where it's got that system where it really moves around a lot.
Exactly,
Nothing like that. Even under the brakes, you know, not even anywhere near the limit where you can go.
No, it's great. Really, really fun. You can totally do another lap if you want.
Yeah. Do that.
Yeah, no. I'm enjoying this more as a passenger than I thought I would, actually. You can go ahead a bit.
Yeah. Otherwise,
No, it's fantastic.
but as I said, I actually tend to find if I put it back off, I tend to find
You prefer it without it?
without the drift mode, because I find the drift mode not really a drift. It's not like
It's really interesting. Like from a perspective of someone who can actually properly do this.
Yeah, it's just like you should feel, because you probably feel it now. We're out of drift mode.
Yeah.
The rear moves around a lot more.
And I'm also watching what you're doing with the wheel.
So again,
Yeah, no, I can definitely feel it there.
Yeah, but even through here, look how balanced it is.
Yeah.
And look, your steering's nice and constant. We're not hacking at the wheel.
Yeah, no, it's
And again,
becoming in so
slowly.
quick, but the brakes.
Nice turn in.
Whoa.
Back on the power again. And then just down one more. Wait to the grip. Then we squeeze the power. In the wet is even better because you can really throw it around.
Nice, yeah. I mean, I suppose to these conditions, especially it's even more grippy when it's hot. Unreal. This car is just, yeah.
Well, I really hope you've enjoyed yourself. It's been. You've learnt some bits,
that was
or
amazing. Loved it.
So there we have it, guys. That is the amazing 45S on the track. We had an amazing day at Mercedes Benz World. There's just so much to see and do. Even Amelia got to do some driving in her very own AMG. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content on this amazing car and Mercedes Benz content, make sure to subscribe. I have so many exciting videos on the way this year. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.